Today I'll be showing you guys my updated Mermail deck list for the March 2020 format. This will be my final Mermail deck profile until the Master Rule changes, and of course, so we get Needlefiber about a week before the Master Rules changes. And then after that, we'll have the new Mermail deck for about a month with the Master Rule change and Needlefiber. Then we have Eternity Code, and things get really, really good. So this will be a little bit more in depth. Deck will only be relevant for like a month or so, but this is like my turbo, quote unquote, turbo Mermail deck, so to say. I do plan on going a little bit more in depth with this, and yeah, so let's start off. First off, we have 3 Abyss Megalo. Typically, I play 2. I just wanted to play a 3rd because I just wanted a way to get out Water Monster easier, and I wanted another discard outlet that triggers the Atlanteans, and there really wasn't anything else to play besides a 3rd Megalo. You could play like Abyss Lead, I guess, but that's 3 discards. Abyss Lead does offer some really cool combos with like hand loop, stuff like that, but it's not the most consistent. And there's also things like White Stingray. The problem with White Stingray is it doesn't trigger the Atlanteans, but White Stingray does still get the discard for the water in the grave, and it does still trigger Abyss Gun. I'm just playing the 3 Megalo. 2-3 doesn't really matter too much. Also, it helps going second. This is a pure going first build, by the way. I just play all going first cards, no going second cards. We just boom going first. But I will say that 3 Megalos does help going second because Megalo is a great OTK card that allows you to play the deck without needing cards like Bora Sword, which is really nice. Continuing on, though, we have the 3 Abyss Tias, of course. Not much else to say about him. The targets, though, are more important. So the targets for him to search, I have the 1 Abyss Gun and the 1 Abyss Mander. Not playing anything else. I'm not playing Oshia anymore. Oshia's actually still, like, I think Oshia's a pretty good card. The problem with Oshia is it's more of like a bricky card. And the way that I kind of built this deck is I wanted to run as minimal bricks as possible and play as many live cards as I possibly could. That's why I cut the Gen X Undyne engine. That's why I cut a lot of other things. And that's why I cut the Abyss Oshia. These cards, sure, in their hand, they don't really do much. However, they're both needed for very valuable combos in Mermail. If you want to summon VFD, which is one of the strongest things that the Mermail deck can do at the moment, you need Abyss Mander. If you want to do a lot of other combos, you need Gun to bring stuff back after Link plays. The thing I will say about Mander, though, if you guys watched the test hand video I uploaded the other day, which was using the same exact list, by the way, same extra, same side and whatever, and same main, obviously, there were some situations that Mander came up as a normal summon because it is a level 4 water. And it worked with Cross Sheep, Institution, stuff like that. So, its stats are actually combo the deck pretty nicely, which is funny. So, even though it is a brick card, there are some weird instances where you can use it in your combos other than just changing the levels of your Mermails, which is fun. I have seen some cool things, too, by the way, people do with Abyss Mander, where they actually change the levels. Like, they play Abyss Mander and Oshia, and they change the levels of the monster that Oshia summons, so you could have summon, like, 2 level 4s, basically. Which is kind of cool, and there's definitely something to be explored there. I just haven't really messed around with it too much. Maybe with the new Master Rule change, it'll be better because we'll have, more zones to summon Exceed monsters, stuff like that. Continuing on, we have the main card, really. The triple Atlantean Nettibus, trying to get away from the glare. Right there, seems good. The double Diva to get, basically Diva just to get Prince. And then the 3 Dragoons, pretty much to get Prince. Obviously, Dragoons can also get Megalo, get you Lapis Dragon, get you other Atlantean, stuff like that. But basically, the main thing of the deck, like, the vast majority of your combos are going to be essentially summoning Nettibus, in some way, shape, or form, whether it's normal summoning it or bringing it back with Coral Enemy in some way, shape, or form, which is a bit harder to do now I don't play Gen X Undyne, but it can come up. Also, the discard effect of Nettibus isn't something to just forget. Not the discard effect, I should say. The send to grave to activate a water monster's effect of Nettibus, you know what I mean, is actually not to be taken lightly, because there's so many combos that come up where I would actually rather just discard this to bring something back than normal summon it, which does sound weird, but if you do test hands, you'll see what I'm talking about. And yeah, pretty much just get the Nettibus. That's what all these 7 cards, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 8. Well, I can't count, dude. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 cards. There we go. Boom. Very good. Kind of forgot we had 2 Divas now. I'm so used to playing 1 Diva. And then the other Atlantean. So these cards don't really do much going first. We have the 2 Infantries and the 1 Marksman. Infantry does help a little bit going first. It doesn't come up as much as I would like it to. But, this pops face-up cards. This pops face-down cards. When set to the graveyard to activate a water monster's effect as cost. The thing with Infantry, though, Infantry has another effect where you can normal summon it and then get an additional normal summon for a level 3 or lower. I think it's level 3 or lower Sea Serpent. Where's the NEC? Level 4 or lower Sea Serpent, excuse me. So, like, technically what you could do is you could, like, normal summon Infantry, and then, like, normal summon Marksman again. If you really want to, something you could do as an example. Marksman has another effect where, like, if it inflicts battle damage, you could, like, special summon one from the deck or something like that. That, like, almost never comes up. There is, like, an OTK you can do with Megalo and Diva, where, like, you go Diva, summon Marksman, Special Megalo, if you have, it's like a 4-card combo, although 2 cards can be blanks. Tribute the Diva, so it can attack twice. Attack with assuming your opponent has empty field as well. Attack with Megalo twice. Attack with this, bring out Dragoons, attack for game. Doesn't come up, but it's worth noting. So yeah, also these are extra names too. There are a lot of times where I just play the 2 infantries because I do think infantry is all around better, even in the current format. But if you do get past turn 3, which this deck doesn't want to do base. This deck, the way it's designed, like I said before, is a turbo deck, so to say. You just want to OTK, well, actually, you don't really want to OTK. If you go second, you want to OTK. If you go first, you want to put up a really strong board and then OTK the following turn. These help you, though, having the extra name if you get past that point, because there are some points where you need to summon Nectibus and use all your Dragoons, and, like, you're seeing another water, and you would, like, send Marksman, add Infantry, just so you can discard it, or something like that. And it does come up. Continuing on, though, we have the Lapis Dragon, which I love this card. This card, it's just going to get better with Needlefiber, too. It's just a free summon. It comes up so many times. Nectibus plus Instant Fusion, because of this card, is like a really good combo in the deck now. It's also a tuner, so, that's random. Could play Brainiac, which is fun. And then I have the 1 Mooling Glacia. This card's a bit tricky now, because you don't really want to summon it against Shaddolls. I mean, you could summon it, but you don't want to use the effect against Shaddolls. And, like, it's a cool card. I love it. I'm probably never going to cut it for Mermail. But it does have its flaws. You don't want to link away with it. You don't want to get it off the field unless you exceed summoning with it. But I don't play any exceeds that are rank 8, so it doesn't really apply here. It's just a tricky card because if you go first, you summon this, and even if your opponent doesn't really do much to your board, but they just out the Moulin, you skip your battle phase, and then you're just not really in a good spot. So you gotta be careful with this card. It's not as free as it once was, but I do still really like it. And then I'm playing the Frog package, so we're playing just a 3-swap, 1 Ronin. I did cut the Genex Undyne, like I mentioned before. I did do the video about the Frog package for Genex Undyne a few days ago. And I think right now the Frog package is better in the current meta. I think all around as like an individual engine, the Undyne package is better. But right now this is better because you can play around draw a lot easier. These, in my opinion, are some of the best water extenders we have in the game. If you open with 2 Frogs, it's actually really, really good. Versus, say, opening with 2 Undynes doesn't really do much for you. We do have the quote-unquote brick in Ronin Tonin, but the thing with Ronin Tonin compared to Genex Controller is it is a water. And if we open with Swap Frog and Ronin, we can still use our Swap Frog. Versus if we open with Genex Controller and Genex Undyne, we can't use our Genex Undyne other than just a water discard, which isn't really that great. This also helps you hard make Toad. I don't play 2 Toads, I just play 1 with the Hamish Arc, but you could definitely play 2, and they're definitely a situation where you can get 2 out. It's just the extra space is really tight. I do think once we get the Master Rule changes, though, I will cut some cards, some like monsters, and I probably will have room for a second Toad and some other cool stuff. I do think Draco Sack will be really good again once the Master Rule changes. But we'll see, we'll see. And of course, Needlefiber. Needlefiber is a water, by the way. That's crazy. It's actually a water. Next up, we have a card that I never see played in Mermail. I'm the only one that's ever played this card, I feel like. But 3 Tenyi Spirit Shinada or whatever, the water one. So I played this card at 3 when I played the Orcus variant of the deck a few months ago before Mermaid got banned. And this card was just so free because you can just boom, special, normal summon anything, and then Orcus combo. Because 2 monsters go Orcus combo, and this was 1 free monster. It's a level 4 water as well, which means going to a Dweller or Hamish Arc is really, really easy. And it just it's one of the better extenders in the deck, I should say. Aqua Spirit's great as well. I do play 1 Aqua Spirit, but I like how, since my variant is just a going first variant, we want to win as soon as possible. I don't really care about drawing these later in the game, because the biggest drawback behind these, you only special summon these if you have no monsters on board, and typically if you get to turn 4, 5, 6 or whatever, you're going to have monsters on board, so it'll be a dead card. But, if you look at it from the standpoint of I just want to go first and win as quickly as possible, it's not that bad. It comes up a lot. I really, really like it. It does hinder your hand a little bit in the sense of you're basically playing with a 4-card hand and a monster on board if you open it, because, you can't discard it, or you can discard it, but then you got to choose between discarding or special summoning sometimes, is what I'm trying to say. Aqua Spirit's nice too. Just banish 1 water, special it. Level 4. Has a cute standby effect, which might actually come up. So basically what this does in the standby phase, your opponent's standby phase, is you can target one monster they control, change its battle position, and they cannot change the battle position until the end of the turn. Which sounds really bad, but there could be a situation where you special Aqua Spirit, your opponent has 1 monster on board, and they try to attack, and you just say no, and then you win next turn. So do keep that in mind. These niche effects that a lot of cards have, and not only just Mermails, they might actually come up. Next up, though, onto the spells. Triple Call by the Grave. You kind of have to play this right now in Mermail. You really don't want to get hand trapped. Droll absolutely kills you. Also, this is just a good like trap card because there's a lot of decks right now where if you're going first, you can just set this and it's another interruption. That's really good. I really can't think of a meta deck that this isn't great against. Out of all like the top decks right now, it's probably worst against dinosaurs, but it still has application against dinosaurs to warrant not siding it out. It's Called by the Grave. I don't really explain it anymore. And then I have 1-for-1, just to get Neptibus out, really. Discard 1 special Neptibus. There's no other level 1s that I play. Once Needlefiber comes out, I'll probably play like Glow Up Bulb or Jet Synchron or something like that. That's level 1. And this card will have more utility. Right now, it just says discard 1 summon Neptibus, which is cool. Reborn as an extender. Reborn! Like, I know it sounds weird explaining Monster Reborn, right? But if you saw my testing videos, this card comes up a lot. I know it's a card a lot of people cut. I have even considered playing World Legacy Succession because of just how good this card is. But, you know, it goes back to the issue of, like, brick cards. Where I play World Legacy Succession, it's a spell card, not a water monster, and I couldn't interfere with my hands. Going second, this card's amazing. It's Monster Reborn. Play it. Then I have 3 instant fusions. So I know it's once per turn. I don't care that it's once per turn. I want to see it in my opening hand. If I see 2, it sucks, sure. But I still want to see it. This has so much utility. Going first, I'll talk about more in the extra deck, but going first is great. Going second is great. This can be an extender. It can be a defensive card. It's one of the best cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever printed, in my opinion. I don't know if it's like a hot take, but this card I feel like should have been banned like 10 years ago. And we still have it at 3. Then we have 2 more as agreed. I have a love-hate relationship with this card. It fixes your hand, sure, but at the same time it can clog your hand, which is kind of like a weird thing that happens, because it's like you play this card to fix your hand, but then it can clog it. There's not that many brick cards, so to say, anymore. It's really just like the Ronin and like the Mander and stuff like that. And Aqua Spirit sometimes, and the Tenny Spirit maybe. I still like it, though. It does make you susceptible to Droll, though, because they can just Droll you. However, the bright side is if you play this and they Ash it, you don't have to shuffle the monsters back, so you kind of just trade this for an Ash. Basically, even if I have like a decent hand, I'll always try to play this just to beat an Ash. Let's say like I have Neptibus and like other waters that are decent, I'm just gonna play it anyway. Like I don't like just because I know you have Ash, so just play it on this. Because people read the card and they see that it says draw 3, and they're like, "Oh, I gotta Ash that." Even though in theory you're just going like +0 because you play the card, shuffle 2, draw 3, so you're using 3 cards to get 3 cards. It's still a good card though. And then the one Abyss Scale, the Mizuchi, the spell one. I think the spell one's the best one right now. Gets around Super Poly. You have no problem putting up monster negates really between Appaloosa and all the other cards that you have. So I think negating spells is important. The trap one has some merit. I do gotta admit, I think the trap one's probably good if you go second, if you're like going second build. You can just like summon Megalo, search the trap build, boom, stop the first trap, which is cool. But you're playing against Altergeist and they have set 4, it doesn't help as much. This is really good against Shaddolls because, you know, the issue with this card is it's not optional, it just negates the first spell card they activate. So in a lot of decks, they can just kind of like bait it out. Like in Sky Sharker in the past, they can just be like, oh, okay, I'll just burn a Foolish Regular Goods or something and then play my Engage. But now, against like Shaddol, they don't really have burnable spells. They're going to have to play something to essentially force them to negate. Unless you're playing like Instant Fusion or something like that, they can use that. But, you know, they don't really have too many summonable spells, is what I'm trying to say. On to the extra deck, though. The MVP of right now, Cross Sheep. This card is amazing. This card just gets you to Appaloosa, or Bahamut Shark, or both, which is cool. Abyss Alacia, I'm not playing Starboy, I'm playing this one. This one's better. Starboy is still good because it gives you the attack boost, but the issue with Starboy is it's just another slot, and this is just a better card. The advantage of Starboy, though, is Starboy helps you with Coral Enemy plays, because Coral Enemy is a Cyberse, and Abyss Alacia requires Fish, Sea Serpent, or Aqua monsters, I believe. You can't use this to make this, what I'm trying to say. But Coral Enemy is still great. It gets you something back from Grave. You can do some cool stuff where, like, you swap Frog, discard Prince, and then, like, later on you make this and then bring the Prince back, which is cool. Basically, just get Prince in Grave and then summon it back with this. Best Marincess card for sure. I have tried, people have asked who have commented about, like, a Marincess Mermail build, and I have tried. The thing with the Marincess Mermail build is it's fun. It's really fun. It's just not that good. That's the problem. I am missing a 3rd blue tank as well. Maybe that's why. But even for my proxy, my test stands aren't that great. So I feel like you kind of have to play this. Unfortunately, you can't recycle itself. I don't know. I feel like if they release a couple of more Marincess cards, that they can have application in Mermail, but right now it's just Crawl an Enemy really that you need to play. One Phoenix because it's Phoenix. And then we have the instant fusion targets. Rare Fish, which is like the most expensive common I ever bought. It was like $4. Thousand Eyes Restrict and Millennium Eyes Restrict. So these cards are your instant fusion targets, of course. You have your rank 4 extender monster to make the Hamish Arc and do other link plays. You have your going second mind control like thing to just take a monster. And then you have your hand trap stopper going first. That stops everything but impermanence pretty much. So I really, really like this card in Mermail because this deck is very weak to hand traps, obviously, and this helps you play around it. When the master roll changes, it just gets better because, you know, the reason, like the issue, excuse me, one of the biggest issues I have with this card is you make it and like there's no generic link 2 to make to get out of the extra deck, really, or the extra deck spot, really. So I have to make like Unicorn or something. But I do still think it is worth it. Or Cross Sheep, actually. Cross Sheep is generic link too. Like if I have Instant Fusion and Reborn with this, it's really fun because I can like, and Neptibus, which I know is like 4 cards. But you can like Instant Fusion, summon this, summon Neptibus to block the hand trap. Or this to block the hand trap for the Neptibus. And then you link them away and then you Monster Reborn this. And then summon something. It's cute. It's cool. And then, oh yeah, Rare Fish over Mud Dragon. This is something I saw from Abyssshire, another Mermail player. But basically, this card has 1500 attack, and you can special enough Coral an Enemy and do some cool plays, while Mud Dragon has 1900 attack, and there's not much else you can do with it besides block Effect Veiler, which, like, I mean, this does anyway, and nobody really plays Effect Veiler. And Mud Dragon is a Super Poly target, though. So if you do play Super Poly and you're going second, I think Mud Dragon is probably better. But if you're going first variant, which I think going first variant is just all around better, you play this. And then continuing on, 1 Unicorn, my only Link 3. I kind of want to play like a generic Link 3 that's like not utility, like a Decode Talker, because like there are times where I just need to make this going first and like not use it. I just need to make it to get stuff out of the way. And having like Decode Talker would be really, really nice, but there's like no space basically. Although granted, once the Master Roll changes, I won't even need Decode Talker anyway, so that's a plus. Then I have 1 Bora Load. And I am playing Bora Sword right now. Bora Sword will be cut for Appaloosa whenever I get one. Whenever I actually go to like a bigger turn, like a region or something, I'm just going to bite the bullet and buy an Appaloosa. Bora Sword is not needed in Mermail. It's just not. It makes OTKs easier, sure, but OTKs are already not that difficult because you can put out a lot of damage from Megalo alone. Excuse me. And you just really don't need it. Bora Sword, on the other hand, you can just take monsters, which is cool. So I think Bora Sword or Bora Load is actually better in this deck than Bora Sword, just because of how easy it is to OTK. And then we have a Hamish Arc. I love this card. It's really good. It's someone's Toad. What more do you need? Unfortunately, there's not really anything else you can summon off a Hamish Arc. There's like Cat Shark, which like doesn't really do anything. But you have Toad. And once the Master Roll changes, I would probably play 2 and 2. 1 Dweller as well, just because against a lot of decks right now, it's really good. It's also a water. And you get the water boost from making it, because all your cards are water, so that's cool. 1 Abyss Gaios. This card, like, spiked in price. This card was, like, $3-4 for the longest time, the ulti one, and now it's, like, 15. I don't know why. Nobody plays this deck. But, yeah, it's basically kind of like an Effect Veiler, almost. I like it. It's cool. And then 1 Calamities, which is, like, the best extra deck monster you can possibly make. The Floodgate-like monster, you just summon this in defense mode, so you get around Lightning Storm. Phone went off, sorry about that, but as I was saying, yeah, call Fire against Dino. I learned it the hard way. Call Fire against Sally Integrate, of course, and further matchups we can figure it out. And then onto the side deck. Now, the side deck, like, I'm still iffy on. It changed a lot, but here it is. So 2 Nibiru and 2 Gamma Seal. I just felt like there are some situations where I needed Gamma Seal over Nibiru in some matchups. Nibiru is great as well, but I actually cut the third one because I was only playing 2 of this card, and I'm playing 3 of Dark Ruler No More. I just think Dark Ruler No More is better than Nibiru right now, to be honest, against Spiral Boards and stuff like that. Unfortunately, you can't really play Spear Mode or Lava Golem because you need your normal summon in this deck. But yeah. Then I'm playing Triple Droll and 2 Ash as my only hand traps. I want to play DD Crow, there's just no room. I'm playing a lot of cards for combo. As you can see, every card that I've shown so far is just for combo. And I noticed that this deck might struggle against back row decks, so I had to cut some things for back row hate. And the things that I'm playing for back row hate are only Double Twin and 1 Red Reboot. I really want to play more. I don't want to just lose to Mystic Mine, but it's really hard to find room. I definitely have to tweak this a bit more and like go to locals more and like just try this extra deck out. In terms of things that I would side out, let me show you. So it really depends on like if I'm going first or second, of course. But I shouted a Megalo a lot. The Tenyes and the Aqua Spirit a lot. Where are they? These are cards that can come out. What else? Ooh, this is backwards. Like that's really it. Like so, like I have an issue with siding, is like what I'm trying to say. And you know, it really depends on the matchup and like how you feel. Obviously, you never want to set it like Diva or like any of your Atlanteans really, outside of maybe these guys. Sometimes I set it like one of these or maybe this, like if I'm playing against a deck that doesn't have any set cards, which there really aren't that many, to be honest. It's really just like Shaddolls. But even Shaddol, like you just set Super Poly. But then if you pop their Super Poly, they're just gonna chain it anyway. So yeah, it is tough siding this deck, I do have to admit. But other than that, I'm actually really enjoying this deck. It is like the quote-unquote turbo build in the sense that I just spam out monsters, and it's really fun. So, what you think in the comments down below, and leave a like if you enjoy. I'm excited to see where Mermail goes. Once again, Needlefiber, man. I'm going to start actually testing Needlefiber, which I haven't really done much at all. Just see what we can do with it. Needlefiber Master Roll 5. So, expect my next couple of videos probably be a lot of Needlefiber testing, Master Roll 5 testing, and then once Needlefiber comes out, I'll upload like a deck profile with Needlefiber Master Roll 5. And then we'll wait for Eternity Code, where we get a lot better. So thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time. Have a great rest of your day, and bye-bye.